Alright, so this, as I'm sure most of you are aware, is the Sevastopol. And it is huge, it is chronically slow at 90 kilometers per hour. It is clunky, its main gun can't even be fired properly if you spawn in on the left side of the screen. And in my opinion, humble and inexperienced though it may be, this is just a gigantic waste of space and money. And I would happily spend most of, if not just a significant fraction of that 181,000 on anything else, something else, anything else, please. More ships, as more capable ships, as opposed to this hulking thing that, in my couple of efforts so far, has basically just lagged behind my functional forward groups. So this is too large, too much of a tanker, too redundant, too capable. I want to preserve most of the radar on this, most of the spotting. If I could, I would just strip out basically everything other than the electronics and some of the fuel storage and just go from there. So how overpriced is this thing? Well, this gun that I would argue is only semi-functional, the Squall, while a wonderful gun in its own right, taking that off drops you down to 157. So that's about what, 24,000 right there for that one gun. That's not really ever going to see use. And continuing along that vein, what you can do is you can basically pull out most of the direct fire weapons, assume that this thing, if you get into a fight with this thing, you've basically already lost. If it gets damaged, the repair cost is going to be absurd, etc., and pull out those guns. Then also significantly get rid of some of the fuel storage as well. And once you do that, you'll find that you can pull off tons of ammo, you can pull off tons of generators, crew sections, collapse, basically condense the entire ship. And what I found when I did this for a while was I came up with this very ugly condensed Sevastopol that I've named the Neva. So it keeps the original landing gear. It has most, but not all, of the original fuel storage. Keeps all of the original engines, and because of that has gone up from 90 kilometers an hour to 135, which will make the campaign map, the strategic map, way nicer, way easier. Now, here's the thing. This basically has very little by way of guns. I have three 725 Vimples on here, and that's it. So if we get into a fight, we're pretty toast, other than, these anti-ship missiles, things like that. And we still do carry the KH-15Ns. They've just moved from the left-hand side over to the right-hand side. I could fill in the cracks in some of these armor, things like that, make it prettier, and probably will, but not really a necessity. This has chunked the price down a full 80,000. 80,000! And basically I intend to use it in our upcoming campaign episodes, which should be in the next couple of days. I think we'll get started. And ordinarily, I think you have to use this Sevastopol as your flagship, but there is actually a way to change this by modifying the ship files. What you can't do, unfortunately, is take the file from a ship that you haven't made or imported from somebody else and do that, because, I don't know, maybe those ship files are hidden somewhere else. I haven't been able to find them, although I will take a look after this as well. Basically, my intention is make this modified ship, the Neva, into my flagship, save that 80,000 if I can, and go from there. And I think that'll be much more effective in terms of having a functional fleet at the beginning of the game. Thank you guys for hanging around, and we'll see you again real soon.